Hi, this is John Dittrich with It's Your Money Radio. Now I was just thinking, man, they play that disclaimer, and it's ridiculous. Isn't that long? Isn't that a terrible disclaimer? We have to do it. I mean, it's regulation.
I know. It's the fine print at the bottom.
The fine print. I apologize to everybody that if you're listening on the radio, you hear this big long disclaimer before the show. And if you're on Facebook Live, you just have to listen to a bunch of silence while we're getting ready. But I just think I don't make any investment recommendations on the show, do I? No, I haven't made any yet, have I?
No,
I don't talk about investments. This is a show. It's more about, I call it integrated financial planning. And I want to talk a little bit more about that later. But a lot of these brokerage firms, they buy and sell investments for you. Right? And
I've got one of those.
Right, you've got one of those. You should fire them.
After I listen to you, I'm going to.
Yeah. But I don't. That's just a small part of my job. Integrated financial planning is what I do, and I'm jumping ahead a little. All I've got for notes, if you're looking, is a few flashcards. So this is either going to be the best show ever or a real train wreck.
We're gonna get it.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna be okay. But I wanted to talk. I'll talk a little bit more about integrated financial planners. But first, we have to thank our sponsors. And do you know who our sponsors are?
I know some of them. I know Gayla Scribner, and I know Dr.
Michael Miller.
Michael Miller,
yeah. He's at Family Back and Neck Care. Marilee Doherty, you know her.
Yeah,
and she's at Clarity Insurance and Financial Services. And then Gary Bingaman.
Yeah, I do know him pretty well.
That's you.
That's me.
We'll be talking to you all day.
There we go.
And then, I've got another sponsor, Diana Haston. And she sells life insurance. And she's licensed with over 40 companies.
Okay.
So, if you're looking for life insurance, you want to talk to somebody who has more options available.
I agree with you there.
Give you a better deal.
Especially if you've advanced your age a little bit.
So, you mentioned Gayla. Gayla's our newest sponsor.
Well, that's
she
fantastic.
She just signed up this week. And thanks, Gayla. Of course you're listening. And, why wouldn't you be listening, Gayla?
Well,
call us up later, Gayla.
Yeah. Well, Gayla has worked with our company from the very inception. We've been in business about 7 years. And as all the things that she does, she's just been an asset, a tremendous asset. Yeah. Anyone that's in business or needs some help, the virtual assistants will you'll be really shocked at all that she can do.
Yeah, the name of her firm is Scrivener Solutions. And her name is Gayla Scrivener. And she has a whole team of virtual assistants, and there's no limit to how big she can grow her team. So there's no limit to how many people. Because she said, John, I want this sponsor. This program's really growing. It's getting exciting. And she kind of knows what a lot of people out there don't know, and that's where this is going. And, okay, and so listen up. Because Gayla knows where this is going, and this is going to get more and more and more exciting. This is going to be, I signed up for a year, but it's going to last forever. I mean, this show's going on, and I've gotten so much great feedback too.
That is fantastic,
and that's thanks to the sponsors, and these sponsors are really working together. So Gayla and her team, and because I was telling her, I'm really worried, Gayla, because if I talk about you on the air, everybody's going to want to hire Scrivener Solutions because they're very, very affordable. And the thing is, if you hire an employee, you've got either a part-time employee, and if you're doing important tasks, it may not be a good idea. I do internal control.
You're just worried about who's going to get overtaxed and overworked. With
Yeah, but if you're a business, and like your story, you told me you overtaxed and overworked, and she came in and rescued you. She she does the things for your business that you don't want to do.
And then if she doesn't do it personally, she has such a network of people. All of my communications on Facebook, my social media, are done by someone other than Gayla, but through Scrivener Solutions.
Right,
so.
She supervises them all and coordinates everything. That's why I say it's unlimited to how much work she can handle, as long as she can keep adding successful, intelligent people to work for her. And she's done a great job for me, too. She takes care of the Facebook page. So on Facebook, if you search Your Money Radio, it'll direct you to our Facebook page, which we're broadcasting live on Facebook every show. As long as my battery holds out, we broadcast.
We've got it today. That's right.
We've got it going on so far today.
And you know, it's not only the Facebook, social media. She knows QuickBooks. She can help you with QuickBooks. She can help you with your accounting. She can help you, and you can bounce ideas off of her. Tremendous ability to bounce ideas.
Very smart lady, and very reasonable, and a lot less expensive than you would pay for for somebody you'd hire.
Yeah,
to
I
do
agree.
it. Because you can use her as much as you want, and use her more and more. And then if you do decide to hire a full-time employee to do what she's doing, and she does bookkeeping, she handles my social media marketing. She does so much. And just give her a call if you own a business, or look her up. Actually, I don't have your phone number, Gayla, but you can find her company at scrivenersolutions.com. SCRIVENER solutions.com. And if you log into her website, she has a little book you can download. 5 things you must know before hiring a virtual assistant. And you can go to scrivenersolutions.com, download that booklet, and find out what she can do for you and what you need to know before you hire somebody. Reminds me of my first show. Remember Terry Lammers back then? So anyway, great. I'm happy to have her as a new sponsor.
She's a great person.
So later on in the show, I hope if you're listening, write down these numbers if you want to call into the show, 417-862-9977 or 1-800-375-0056. Now write those numbers down because we're going to be giving away a $90 gift certificate, right?
Yes, $90 gift certificate. We'll be doing that in a little while. It's got to listen for a while, but wait, it'll come.
Yeah, it'll come, and you'll call in, and we'll be giving that away. Call in. You'll be calling in and asking questions of Gary. What do you do, Gary?
I own a plumbing, heating, and air conditioning company. Been in Springfield since 1990. Actually worked for Rick Gilmore years ago, and then I left him and went to work for Howard Fagan. That was overall plumbing, and then before I started my company, I worked for Gary DeLong. So a lot of people out there, you might know me. I was known as Gary B with Gary DeLong, just plain Gary when I worked. So there's a lot of people that I've known. I run into people all the time that I may not have seen for years.
So plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. And our overall topic today is going to be about pricing. Okay, and I'm going to talk about pricing in the financial industry, and you're going to talk about pricing in the services, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning industry, and some of the unique approaches you do differently. And I'm going to talk about some of the unique things I do differently for my business. And we hope you learn a lot about our businesses, and if you want to do business with us, that'd be great, because I'm a financial advisor and like to do business with you as well.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to go on a quick break, and then after that, we're going to talk more about pricing today.
Okay.
Welcome back to It's Your Money Radio with your host, John Dittrich, and our special guest,
Gary Bingaman.
And yes, It's Your Money Radio, where we help you make more money, save more money, and have more money for all of your financial goals. So
something we all want to do.
We all want to do that, and the object of the show is to help you do that. And by interviewing experts in various fields that will give you all the tips and tricks about how to do business in that industry. And I'm in the financial industry. And I mentioned earlier something probably nobody out there has heard the term integrated financial planning. And that's what I do. And what that means, and I'll give you an example, is that as people have, if they're just investing a little bit of money, they need somebody to help them, to show them how to invest and open up accounts for them and things like that. But as people have more and more money, their needs grow. Okay? So, and that's why I've got a great crew of people on this show who can help them, but they have to talk about risk management, so things like insurance, health insurance, life insurance, things like that. And they have to talk about maybe estate planning. So we work with attorneys and do estate planning. I'm trying to get an attorney on the show as one of the sponsors.
That'd be great.
Because I'd love to talk about estate planning and why that's so important. And financial advisor, you don't just give me your money and I invest it, but I invest it in the way you pay me, because we're talking about prices, is we're fee based. So you pay me a fixed fee, which means as a fiduciary, I never make a commission, and as fixed fee, which means if I help you double your money, I doubled my income. If I make bad investments and you lose half your money, I've lost half my income. So my needs and my clients' needs are aligned, right?
That's great.
So the integrated financial services or integrated financial planning just means that I help you with every step of your financial life. And as a matter of fact, one of the things you might not have, you wouldn't even think to talk to your financial planner about, many of my customers, if they're going to make any financial decision in excess of a couple $1,000s, they're going to say, "Hey, John, I'm going to need to withdraw some money." And if I'm comfortable, if some of them I don't even ask because I know they're super smart people, and I'm not digging the ones that don't. But some super smart people still don't know everything I know about all the people, my networking, the networking groups that I go to are great. So I had one guy say, "Yeah, John, I'm going to have to withdraw about $16,000," and I'm like, well, okay, first of all, it's your money and you can withdraw it whenever you want. I don't tie it up, lock it up, or stop you in any way from using your money however you want to. But my only question is, what's going on? And so he told me he's building a deck, right? He's building a deck in his backyard. His deck is getting old. He's lived there in his house a long time, and the woods rots, and it's just time to replace the deck. The old deck has to be hauled off. He wants to get something that'll last a little longer, so he wants to get that real fancy new
Get updating the
fake
system.
wood.
That's right.
And it's a very expensive project. So I said, "Well, have you thought about a concrete patio?" And he says, "Well, I think that's expensive." I told him, "Well, I'll tell you what. I know a guy who does concrete work. Let me put him in touch with you." A few weeks later, he gets back with me. I said, and I don't want to say his name. I want to say his name real bad, but it's confidential.
Yeah.
But he was in my office just the other day, and I say, "So how much money did you save?" And he says, $6,000. That's $6,000.
It will be there.
Yeah. So he got a better product, and he's so happy, and he saved a lot of money, which means if you save money, you can invest more money and have more money for your
you can make
financial
more
goals.
money.
So you can make more money.
That's
Exactly.
right.
And that's the whole idea of the program. So integrated financial planning. I'm your financial coach. If you're hiring me, John Dittrich, at Douglas Babel and Company, I'm your financial coach for life. So what about? And that's just we talked about. I didn't talk about the. We were going to talk about the DOL fiduciary ruling, and just real quick because.
I see the guy once a year. He sells me a product. Never seen him since. Just put my money in. But I did get a letter, and he was talking about this. About this particular.
I gotta say, somebody's trying to reach me. If you want to talk to me while I'm on the radio, call 862-9977. But that's all right. And yeah, we can talk to you on the air. But the DOL fiduciary ruling, and what I'm talking about is the way financial products are layered. Okay, and I'm going to oversimplify this, so I don't want any of you financial advisors out there calling me and saying, "John, you oversimplified it." I'm oversimplifying it so I can explain it. Mm-hmm. So let's just say there's two types of investments: stocks and bonds. You can buy stocks, which fluctuate widely in the market, unpredictably, and bonds, which are a little bit more predictable. Interest rates go up, they tend to go down. Interest rates go down, they tend to go up. But they tend to be considered much safer investments.
Yes.
So let's say, basically you should buy stocks and bonds. You should buy a diversified portfolio. I'm a big believer in diversification, so you shouldn't buy one stock and one bond, but groups. I can explain that. But let's just say you're going to buy stocks and bonds. Okay, that's the bottom layer. And every financial advisor in the world has access, if they're good, to the same stocks and the same bonds. Now, the next step up the ladder is mutual funds, or ETFs. Mm-hmm. The problem is, what happens with mutual funds is they buy stocks and bonds just like everybody else can do, but you're paying them a management fee to do that. And they have internal expenses. That's why they have a management fee, but they actually charge separate for the internal expenses. And then they pay brokerage firms to sell their products. So now you're talking about, instead of just buying stocks and bonds, you're still getting the same stocks and bonds, but you're paying maybe, depending on the mutual fund, anywhere from up to 4.5% in total fees per year for them to do all that management for you. And then it gets even worse. Then insurance companies get involved, and they sell you structured insurance products like annuities or complex variable annuities or life insurance products that are dependent on the fluctuation of the stock market. So what all they're doing is adding in some guarantees and another layer of fees. And those fees can be there's no limit to how high they can
So
be.
you're now answering a question to me: why in this market that appears to be doing really good, my mutual funds returns are so low?
Well, and that could be for two reasons. One, you could be investing in very safe products which don't go up with the market, or if you're in an aggressive mutual fund, it could be that the market goes up 6%, and you have 3.5% or 4% in fees, so you only make
2%.
2%. Okay,
I know,
so that's
I'm an old
happening to you
plumber,
out
but I
there.
got it.
Yeah, it's not that hard to figure out.
No.
So I oversimplify it and explain it to people, and that's why I don't like annuity products, because people don't understand that you're giving up your money. Okay, now they offer a protection, and there's reasons to have them. And I say I don't have a problem with annuities. I have a problem with the way they're sold. You have to understand, what are my fees? What's the fee structure? Who's getting paid? How much are they getting paid? And all these things. And that's why the DOL, the government got involved and said, people aren't being told. And so they said, we're going to have this DOL fiduciary rule that says, if you're dealing with people's retirement funds, you have to tell them. And that went in effect in June. Okay, but there's workarounds. And so they're trying to do more and more rules. And you hear the politics of it being discussed all the time. And they're saying they want to wipe the whole thing out. They want to
Tell us what they're charging.
And who do you think is lobbying the government to reverse the DOL fiduciary ruling?
The mutual fund, the people that are
The mutual fund companies, the brokerage firms, and the insurance companies are lobbying Washington and say, this is costing us money because now we have to tell people I'm making an 8 or 10% commission on their $300,000 annuity. Silence, right?
Right, exactly. Now, I do have to come see you now. You've already convinced me. So it didn't take much.
So yeah, come in to Douglas Babel & Company. Call me, John Dittrich. You can call me. It's my money phone number, which is 417-986-4496. Call the show and talk to me.
Okay.
We'll get your number and I'll call you back. You don't have to be on the air and tell us your name and everything, but just give your number to our operator and tell him you want me to call him back, and I'll call you back at 862-9977 is our number. So that's why. But that's just not this pricing thing that I'm upset about in my industry. It's because I know my industry. And I thought, there are so many different things going on in the world, in different industries. And I said, well, I can help you make more money, save more money, and have more money for retirement in the financial services business. But I don't know a thing about plumbing, heating, and air conditioning.
Oh, yeah. And right now, there's such a diversity in that field with how people are being charged that it does make a big difference. We all like to have fees. We all like to kind of know what we're doing. But we're a time and material company, which means that we literally will come out, we'll do the job. When we get done, you'll pay for our labor, and you'll pay for the materials that we use to do it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get into that, but just tell us your story. I mean, I cut you off earlier. I want to hear your story.
Okay, my story. When I was in the Air Force, I spent 6 years serving our country. I actually got to become a plumber in the Air Force. We didn't plumb on the airplanes, but we actually plumbed the base housing and all the other things that go into it. I got out, went to college, and after I got out of college, plumbing and heating air was kind of my background that I was doing while I was doing some other things. Finally, in 1990, we moved to Springfield. I was coming here. I was going to go to school at AGTS, and we had an accident, and so we didn't do it. But I got full-time into plumbing and started working full-time. Thought I was always going to work for somebody else. The first company I was with happened to change their plan structure and what they were going to do. Went to a new way of doing business, and I said I can't be with this company anymore. I left, went to T&M, and I've been T&M on what we do from ever since.
Time and materials.
Time and materials,
Yeah.
T&M. And I'll tell you, I am a plumber. I got into HVAC. I've got in gas fitters. I happen to have a master's license in all three. I sat on the city board for 6 years the first time, sat on there for a few more years the next time, and one day the city said, if you live outside the city, and I live a stone's throw from the edge of the city, we couldn't be on the board. So one night they put about 12 of us off the board, but I was on there and helped to determine who was going to get licenses and who was going to do it. So that's when, in about 7 years ago, we had a unique opportunity. I got laid off. We had a unique opportunity where my wife and I started A&D Mechanical Services to do that, and we've been in business ever since. We started in the midst of a recession, so I guess if we could weather that till now, we've hit the 5-year mark, the 6-year mark, the 7-year mark. We've got a BBB A+ rating. We're part of the City Chamber of Commerce, and we just got into it. Something I've enjoyed doing and love doing. I'm a service tech at heart. All the guys I have with me are service techs at heart, and that's what we want. We want to help you. We're really there, and I believe that. Some people say, oh, you don't care. No, I care. I want you to have heat. I want you to have air conditioning. I want your toilet to flow, and I want to do it in such a way that you can afford to do it.
And you've been doing this since I was in high school, so for a very long time.
For a very long time.
And what about your service area? Who do you,
Okay,
we have a lot of people reaching us.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, we basically are Springfield, all the surrounding cities, the Republic, Willard, just kind of going around in the circle, Stratford and that. We do go out to Marshfield, Mansfield. We've been as far south. We will go down to Branson. We will go up to Bolivar. We'll go where people want us and need us. If they do, they pay a little extra to get us out of the city, but we can do it. I've been some long distances, but we try not to do that. It's just too costly. It's not cost effective for them. But
yeah, they probably have local people, and if they want advice, they can still call you.
They can call me for advice, and sometimes they just don't trust. It's a trust issue in our field. You want to trust the guy that comes to your house. You want to trust his workers if he doesn't do it all the time. And you want to have people to come out and be there. So,
and about the heating and air, did you mention why did you even decide to be in plumbing, heating, and air, and how does somebody else get into that field?
Okay, I decided I got into it in the military. That set me off. When I was in college, you have to do something while you're going to college. I managed a high school and their maintenance team, did all of that. When I got out, we moved to North Carolina. I was pastoring a real small church. They did not pay enough for me to be there, so I became, quote, a bivocational pastor, which meant that I'd go to work as a pastor during the week, but on the weekdays, in order to eat, I would work. And so I did that. I did that in 2 places in North Carolina. Got in with an electrical company, learned electrical, a good background. The second company got me in heating and air, so that's how I got it background. We moved here, and after we had a car accident, my wife got hurt. We kind of settled down and said, well, I guess we're over 30. It's maybe time to decide what we want to do. I'm 62 now, and I still haven't really decided what I want to do.
Well, you don't look that old, and you're in good shape. So.
Well, thank you, sir. But some mornings I get up and I feel that way. So,
yeah. And what about we talked a little bit, but at lunch before we were on the air about young people who want to get into the business.
Oh yes, young people that want to get into the business. There's a few ways. Find a company, go in there, be prepared to work. I know that's horrible, and I don't mean just be prepared to show up on time. If you're handed a hammer, a shovel, or any other tool, they expect you to work with it, do it. Just say, wow, I can learn a trade that will pay me really good, but I got to start at the bottom. If you want to, we have some great tech schools in town. I've hired a lot of guys out of OTC. They've got a 2-year program. If you go into OTC, and I'll say this to anyone out there listening from OTC, find a company and try to do on-the-job training. One of my guys, Mathen, was going to school. He'd come and work, and when he got done working, he would go back to school. Everyone at the table wanted to sit with him because he was doing what they were studying in classes. I have a couple of guys now that have come out of school. But you could do it. I've got another guy, Dan, a great tech. Dan has a real strong background and he's done a lot of work, and he's learned it. So you can get someone to take you on as an apprentice. You can apprentice, then after you apprentice, you can become a journeyman. You can eventually become a master. Masters are more for pulling permits and doing other things. You can do your own company. The biggest thing is you can kind of write your check, and you can do what you want. It's a vast open field. You can be in Springfield doing it. You can get on the road. You can get into specialty fields like test and balance and other things. So there's a lot that you can do. I highly recommend it for young people.
Well, instead of going to college and not even knowing if you have a job when you graduate, you can serve as an apprentice and get paid for it.
And you don't have a $100,000 school bill when you walk out the door.
Right.
We won't get into that, but the federal government did a study and actually said, if you get out and you can start your job and you're making a good income, if you'll put away the same money that you would pay back your loan with, they'll never catch you. They'll never. All the guys that went to college,
unless you're going to be a doctor, and make
they said even on some of that, it's really tough. If you could start at 22 versus 45.
Well, how much money can you make into plumbing, heating, and air conditioning?
You can make $100,000 to $300,000 or $400,000, depends whether you own your company.
If you're working for somebody or running your own business.
Yeah, it depends on whether you're working for someone or running your own business. Springfield's probably, I would say, you can make $60,000 with no problem, and you can have full benefits. And you can be full-time. We've talked about that before.
It's a great opportunity. Unfortunately, we have to go to break. And I want to thank you, Gayla, for your new sponsorship. Your virtual assistant at Scrivener Solutions at www.scrivenersolutions.com. Download a free book on the website, 5 Things You Need to Know Before Hiring a Virtual Assistant. And for life insurance, I like to recommend and contact Diana Haston at Secure Life Insurance, and her number is 417-986-4529. This is John Dittrich at It's Your Money Radio. We're talking to Gary Bingaman, and I just want to remind you all we're giving away a $90 gift certificate.
Yeah,
so
maybe we'll do that in the next few minutes.
In the next few minutes, if you want to call 862-9977 and ask Gary a question. And we might be able to give you a gift certificate. You have to own a home.
We'd like you to own a home in the Springfield area and the surrounding Springfield area. But we'd love for you to give us a call, talk to us.
All right. And I wanted to thank my sponsors once more: Dr. Michael Miller at Family Back and Neck Care, Marilee Doherty at Clarity Insurance and Financial Services, Gary Bingaman at A&D Plumbing, Heating and Air, Diana Haston at Secured Life Insurance, and Gayla Scrivener at Scrivener Solutions.
And you guys can find us on Facebook at www.admechanical, or you can find us on the web at www.admechanical.com. They just don't let you put an ampersand on the web, so they don't like ampersands. So It's ad mechanical. Anyway, it is. So
what does the A&D stand for?
A stands for awesome, and D stands for don't forget we're awesome.
That's what I thought it stood
That's
for.
what it stands for. If you've been around me in one of the meetings, we belong to Mob. That's Masterminds of Business. You can hear that phrase if you get a check from us, which you normally won't, or a bill from us. It will have that on there. Yeah, that's really what it stands for. A is for awesome.
So what does it take to get into the plumbing, heating, and air conditioning business? You need to be licensed, and
yeah, you need to be licensed. I'm gonna tell you guys, a lot of people wonder why there are a lot of unlicensed people out there. Why do you license people? Because you want someone that you know has been tested, to know the codes, and to have a track record where they've proved that they've worked for so many years. It takes 8 years, 4 years under a master as an apprentice to become a journeyman, 4 years as a journeyman to be able to test. The test for the mechanical is 4.5 hours, extremely hard test. I've taught heating and air for years. I passed it by 1 point, jumped up and down. I was so excited, but many, many people don't pass it first time around. Secondly, we all have to have insurances. Guys, if you don't check out that company that comes to your door, make sure they have workers' comp insurance. If they don't have workers' comp and they come to your house, you're providing their workers' comp. You don't believe me? Call your insurance agent.
That is true.
That is true. And if you're a company and you have them on your property and someone gets hurt, all of a sudden you've become their work comp. I only hire subs that have work comp, because if they work for me as a sub and someone gets hurt, guess what? I become their workers' comp, and my work comp company will charge me every year for the people that don't have it that work for me. So I'm going to tell you that. Check that out. Make sure they have work comp. Make sure they have general liability. I would check out whether they're licensed, if they're doing permitted work. Some people don't like permits, but I'm going to tell you, permits are there to protect you. We want to protect your safety. We want to protect your health.
Okay, let's get into the meat of it. Like I said, the show's about pricing.
Yes.
You want to talk about how your different
Okay, we're talking. There's a couple ways that people are pricing heating and air and plumbing right now, and we'll call that business models. And these business models affect the bottom dollar, which it's your money, how much you're going to pay. That's the bottom line. Okay, the first one will be time and material. That's an old tried and true method, been around for a long time. We can come out, we will do a job. We will charge you. We do not have a show-up fee, so we'll come out with our rates. We'll do your work when we're done. If it takes an hour, we'll pay for that hour. And if it's materials, you'll pay for it. If we use a jet or a sewer machine, there are charges for those things. It's common. It's not only me. There are a lot of companies in Springfield that are still that way. But as I said, the first company I worked with in Springfield, and from that point on, there have been a lot of companies that have got into Springfield that use a one price or a flat rate model. And with a flat rate model, you really don't know what their labor is, you do not know what their materials are, you don't know what it is. They say that, I've taken schools in this, there is a background, they do base it on hourly fees. But I come out and I say I'm $90 an hour, you know I'm up front, I'm telling you what it is. I say the fan motor's $150, it's probably going to take 2 hours. You can add it up in your head, you know I'm about $349. I've got it there for you. These companies would come out and they will tell you, okay, for $49 or $59, I'll come to your door. We'll find out what's wrong before you do any work. We'll get you to sign this, that you do it. Nothing wrong with their model, nothing wrong with the people that do it. It's just that at the end of that, if you pay $679, you've paid about $300 more than you would have paid with us. Do you get any difference? No, you don't. Everyone says, oh, they put booties on. My guys are required to wear booties. We all wear uniforms. I've been wearing my name tag with my little pretty picture on it that tells you who I am. So if we show up, as we're revamping our website, we'll have pictures of everyone. So if someone's coming to your house, you can literally go online and say, oh, this is the guy that I saw on there. We'll come out, we'll look it over. Do I do bids? We all do bids. That's not a problem. I do some flat rate. If you call me for a water heater, I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to pay for that water heater to be installed, which includes the permit and any upgrades you need. But on most things, it's a lot cheaper on you if you take someone that's flat. That is time and material. You know it. If you backed out of a company that charges you $650 for a condenser fan motor, if you back out the materials which I'm paying and you doubled whatever they paid for it, you would come up that the average labor rate's probably, and I can't tell you what it is for sure because they factor a lot of factors into it, over $150 to $200 an hour. And it's not, these are great companies, good people. It's like you said, though, there are some things you need to know before you just start. You know what I'm saying? Just call someone out to do that. I don't charge anything to show up. It may change one day. Springfield's traffic, if you've lived there, I've lived here since '90. You got in the car, you drove across town. Our engineers over here laughing. You drove across town, you got across town, and you were there in 10 minutes. I've drove across Springfield, and it's been 45 minutes. If you're paying that and you're not making any recovery on some of your money, it's a little bit tougher. But that may come. But anyway, some of those companies use it. There's no problem. As I said, these are great people. It's just that model. That model seems to cost you more money. It's kind of like you said. You have layers and layers and filters that create. I don't have a giant advertising budget. I've just taken on a radio budget with you. You know, I do have some advertising, but I don't have to spend. I'm not forced to have to spend a lot to advertise. So some of that overhead expenses I don't have to do that. So, you know.
And you don't mind second opinions.
I believe in second opinions. If someone comes out there and tells you, but get someone that's not going to charge you. Now, I'm going to tell you what. Some people say you should get a second opinion all the time. If you trust that company that comes to your house and you know they've not steered you wrong, you may not want to get a second opinion. But if you're just calling around, get a couple of second opinions. I had a house, this is not too long ago. Excuse me. In fact, just yesterday I was up at a school. The guy ran by, he waved at me. He said, "Hey, Gary." And I said, "How you doing?" He goes, "I'm that guy." And I said, "What guy?" He said, "Well, you came over to Nora Street." He said, "And you came in and I wanted a bid on my air conditioner." I said, "You wanted a bid?" "I remember you. I came to give you a bid." He said, "Well, there was two other companies came, said I needed a new air conditioner. I had to fix it. You got down, you looked at it, you found that it was just a wiring issue. You've got it running." He said, "That was a few months ago." How's it? He said, "It's run great all summer." Only he didn't really call me for an opinion, but because I know people think, "Oh, we just want to charge. I want you to have air conditioning. I want your plumbing to run, and I want these things to go." So to do that.
Yeah. You also have a program. Do we
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a couple other ways you can save money. One is to get an annual contract, spring and fall clean and check. Our clean and checks are very competitive. We're $149.95. We'll come out spring and fall to do that. Secondly, we have a program. Love to have you call, talk to me offline. Our number is 417-866-8257. It's called the Peace of Mind Program. The Peace of Mind Program is $100 a month, but what it does is, in a way, it saves you money because all of your service needs will be addressed with no deductibles or with anything else. And then as your equipment becomes out of where it's not able to function anymore, then we'll take care of it for you.
And who's the right customer for that program? Because it's not for everybody.
No, oh no. If you're one of those people that have limited financials, if you have a hard time saving money, you should always have a fund. You could tell me this, and you can tell our guys, you should have a fund for how to take care of your house. A big investment. If you don't, it's a great plan for them. For people that have become of age and may be limited in their physical, they may be limited, or your mother or father, you're taking care of them. Those would be great customers for this kind of plan. And in fact, with those that are that old, I have a tie to someone that has a security system that can actually tell if your parents get up, if they go out of the house, where they move in the house. So you don't have to be there. You can kind of monitor them. You could have some peace of mind for that too. So.
Well, and we talked about, and by the way, 862-9977, we still have a gift certificate to give away.
Yeah, we still have a gift certificate. It's $90 gift certificate. Give us a holler. You got any other questions? I know we're really limited on time, but you can give us a call.
And we talked about who that program's right for, and I think you didn't mention yet, but as a financial advisor, you know, I look at the value of the dollar and $100 a month, and it's not right for everybody. But you said if you go to somebody's house and you know they need a new furnace or a new air conditioner, and it's going to be very expensive, and they don't have the money to pay it.
That's right.
You can try and keep their furnace running for a couple more years, have them pay the $100 a month,
and then we could take care of it. Yeah, normally as equipment reaches an older age, I have fine print on it too. I can't do everything, but it's depending on the age of your equipment, tells you how long you stay on the program. But you can be doing exactly like you said. I know this equipment's got to be replaced. Let's keep it going. Let's keep your sewers draining. Let's keep your faucets running. Let's do everything we can. And then when we come up, we will put the equipment in.
And in a couple of years, you'll replace that.
We'll replace
it. Doesn't have to completely break
down.
No. You'll just replace it, and and it'll be free.
Yeah, there you go.
Free to the owner, so they've already paid for it. It's better to pay for something $100 a month in advance than to use a credit card to pay for it.
Oh, definitely. You don't have 24% interest.
Right. And you said you had some tips for the audience.
Oh, yeah. I got a few tips for you guys. It's summertime. Whenever you go out, you're mowing around your air conditioner, always either turn the mower away from it Or turn it off. Everyone says, no, I don't want to turn it off. Turn it off. If it gets leaves in there, we go out there all the time. I had one of the guys said, oh, my air conditioner just isn't running too right. I said, okay, let's see what it's got. We pulled the top off of it, and I actually took a pressure washer. It had so much grass that it matted in there. We blew it out. The other thing I tell you, a simple tip, is check your equipment. I had a little lady call me one time. She said, I'm going to meet you on Saturday. And I said, okay. She said, I got to drive in from Buffalo. And I said, no problem. We'll go to your rent house. I'll meet you over there. I go over there, and she never checked her thermostat. I walked in, I flipped the switch on the wall, and the air conditioner, I checked it out. It was running great. I hated it. I worked for someone. I couldn't just give it to her. But to do that, so, check things out. Check them out. If you don't know what's going on, give us a call. Call us up and say, hey, my furnace isn't running right. It's just quit. And I'll talk you through the phone. If we can fix it over the phone, I don't have to come see you. There's nothing
Linda,
you have to
do you have a question?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You want Gary's phone number?
Yeah, it's 417-866-8257. Okay, what we're doing is we have a certificate for a clean and check on your heating or your air conditioning that we're giving away.
Do you own a home, Linda?
Oh, that's all right. It's a free clean and check, and we don't mind giving it to you and sending it to you. But if you don't want it and anyone else wants it, they give us a call in the next minute. We can give it to them. Free bells. Okay, well that's great, Linda. Well, yeah, we do plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and gas. We can do just about anything you need. All right, I appreciate it very much, Linda. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Linda, for calling. And you told me before that when people are, and we just have about a minute left, I just want to say this real quick, is that you'll troubleshoot over the phone.
Oh, definitely.
So you don't have to pay a service charge to come out if it's something simple, and Gary will talk you through that. He'll say, hey, have you checked this? Have you checked this? Have you checked this? Maybe save you a service call. So he's a great resource. Call Gary. What's your number again?
417-866-8257.
All right, great. And we're just about out of time. So I wanted to say next week, Marilee Doherty at Clarity Insurance and Financial Services will be our guest. So there are so many insurance options, and this is the only person I've ever met that saves you money while you own insurance. How many people do you know that your insurance company is going to call you every year and try and tell you how you can save money over what you're paying right now? And that never happened to me before. I had Marilee for the last 4 or 5 years. So she's a great resource, and she'll be on next week. Thank you for listening to the show this week. Was it a train wreck? I think it went pretty good.
I think it went really well.
All right.
If I say so myself, we're here.
It's Your Money Radio with your host, John Dittrich, and thank you all for listening.
Thanks, you guys. Have a great day.